all the rest of the country, we're gonna leave Idaho
Yeah.
alone. There's
We're
too
gonna
many
be
guns.
Guess where all the ammo is for the guns? In China.
Yeah.
How come it's in Idaho? Come on down, please. Okay,
Rose used the whistle on
No.
the Titanic.
Not seriously.
whistles are
Or in
mandatory.
the ocean.
Hams.
So, I've got duct tape too, but that's
Can we use
helpful
that
for
now?
so many things.
Duct tape?
It's great for lots of stuff. I have some MREs. They're probably gross. Probably totally disgusting. But you know what? It's gonna nurture my body for a few days.
Where did you get those at?
I forget. I ordered them. It's probably time to replace them.
No, they
No,
last,
they
I got one
last,
of these nasty things too.
they last forever and you can get Army surplus.
So Army surplus has a whole bunch of MREs, whole bunch. Piles of them.
I have this thing.
And
I
they
talked
last
about
forever.
this with our emergency guy at work the other day. He goes, "Do you know how nasty that is?" I'm like, "If I need it, I don't care."
What is it?
It is an emergency food rations to survive. There's like 3,600 calories in this puppy. It's hard as a brick. It's totally gross when passed around.
Tuna bag.
Gross.
Yeah, tuna bag.
That thing's probably nasty. I don't care because I'm going to survive.
Open it
Yeah.
up and add water to it?
No, you
No, you just chew on that
There-
nasty thing. Chew on that nasty thing.
Yep, there are
I'm not
some,
excited about that thing, but you know what? It will keep me alive, and that's all we're trying to do.
Does that tell
So
you the
it's
parts
food?
and everything in it?
I don't know if
Guess
it's
when you're really
nutrition
starving and
information.
hungry,
You have to see what we're
you're
seeing.
actually starving and hungry, you'll eat it.
Can I say something?
May not taste
So
good.
the lady at the, maybe you're gonna get to this part, so maybe I'll just wait. The lady at the preparedness store said the best kind to get is just the kind that you can add hot water to. Because
It
then,
depends.
and, you know, that's what she
You
was
might not have
saying.
hot water.
Right, and so she does say you have to make sure that you can have a water source, and that was part of the preparedness. So that was just something that she had mentioned. I mean, this.
So that's a special, for your home, I think that's great. If you have to bunker down in your home, that's great.
The Lord
But
left.
a human being needs a gallon of water per day.
So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
You can kind of skimp on that a smidge. Do you want to carry extra water? 3 gallons of water is heavy. Do you want to carry extra water
it'd be good for the
for your
drug
food
addict.
tube? Probably not.
Yeah. So,
Probably not. So it depends on the situation.
right, that's right, and that was just what she had said, and that's just what I was passing on, so, you know, the water thing definitely I've taken into consideration.
Right. So my water is not in this bag.
Right.
You will notice I have a second bag that has clothes and underwear and water. You guys didn't need to see my underwear. That'd embarrass all of us, right? So I left that one at home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Betcha! So I have one of these too, but that has more to do with my emergency stuff, and work gloves go with that, and some safety glasses, and a notebook can be good. Yes.
Something that has happened to me personally, like especially if you have MREs or other food in your bug out bag, get yourself a magic marker and do yourself a favor and mark down the best by date. One thing you don't want to have happening is you find out that the food in your bug out bag expired 3 years ago.
Let me talk about that for a second.
MREs don't
Thank you,
go
sister.
bad,
They do
ever.
not go bad.
They start out bad and they can't get any better or worse.
Yes, but if you have certain other foods, most of them do
Yeah.
have an expiration date.
Yeah,
But they're still usable way after that. Trust me, I know this.
break your
Yes.
teeth.
Yes.
That's not the.
So we're gonna get back on task. I love all the comments.
Look who's talking.
You're right.
I have a poncho. It's the rain. You're not carrying a raincoat with you.
Hey,
Somehow make it, I don't know.
I have hand warmers, because it might be cold.
Idaho.
I am a creature that likes some level of comfort, and I may have cold hands. This to me is worth carrying. That's one of those individual choice things that makes sense. Toilet paper. Highly recommend toilet paper. Just saying,
Just saying.
just saying.
I don't think a
And I mean-
72-hour bug out pack is a time for vandalism antics.
I don't think she was carrying it for that reason.
No. I have baby wipes. I don't wanna carry extra water to wash my hands.
Oh, you're
Right.
spoiling
This is-
yourself.
A lot lighter, it's easy.
And they will dry.
I just thought about it. What do I want? I'm not saying this is right for you. This is right for me.
Right.
I have a whole thing of hand sanitizer.
You can also start fires with that.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you can.
Yes, you can.
The little bottle lasts long.
I have some dust masks. That also has to do with building search stuff, so that's not gonna be applicable to most people. I have emergency candles and lots of matches, including waterproof ones. So I don't have to worry about that. I have a hand crank flashlight because I don't want my batteries to go bad. So I wanna be able to have.
Can you show us how it works?
Here, I'm gonna let you crank that thing, sister.
Yeah.
I know you want to. I know you want to.
This is actually kind of cool. I didn't know you could still get them.
Yeah, you can get those out, I think, but it's the problem with them if you use them too much and play around with them too much. Regardless of how many times you crank them, it won't work.
Really?
So the more
Well,
you
yeah,
use it,
test
the
it out.
bigger
Maybe
it
Well, I
gets.
can't get the
Quicker it gets,
handle
the more you
unhooked.
use it. It's best is to keep it fresh and
Yeah,
neat.
she hands me like a Norelco razor or something. She,
Okay, so I have a toothbrush in there.
because they're like.
I want to brush my teeth.
And clean your guns.
Or I don't have one.
For a second.
I have a not Leatherman, like let a multi-tool thing, because I think that's handy. Just in case. It can be used for lots of stuff. No.
That's a baby one.
And I don't care.
That's a leather baby.
It sits in my
So do you
bag.
have to, hey Sheila,
That's a wore out.
so do you have to naturally keep
That's
doing that so it
fabulous.
stays on? For 72 hours, you're gonna do that?
You're not gonna leave it on for 72 hours, yo.
Everybody, I'm gonna sleep for 10, but what about the other 10? I'm gonna keep twisting that
Okay,
for
so I
10
have an
minutes.
emergency
It'll
blanket.
keep you
warm.
entertained.
You use your brain continuously for
Emergency
72 hours?
blanket.
What's that?
Sleeping bag.
You use your brain.
Absolutely,
Yep, sleeping bag.
absolutely, it functions
Isn't that
for
nice
7
size?
Wow.
Grab and go.
Sleeping, it works.
You can get them for like $1
If it
at
didn't
Walmart.
work, I
If you
wouldn't
need
be
to
able to
just
breathe.
go.
That's pretty condensed.
They're like $1 or $2 at Walmart.
What's it do, just
Melinda, what was the last thing
expand?
some of us were talking?
Sleeping bag.
That's a blanket.
It's not cushy.
Yeah.
I don't care. We're surviving 72 hours.
Some of those are actually fire protectors, so they help you, plus they also help heat you.
Some of us might just choose to die in our homes.
There is nothing wrong with that. And I have another blanket in case somebody's missing one. Oh, feminine hygiene products.
Shane needs those.
Even if you're a dude, these are awesome. Because they're great for wounds.
They are.
Injury. They suck up that blood better than anything else. Right? Or a diaper for sucking up blood. Let's just be real about that.
If you spill your drink, they'll mop it up.
What is it?
Feminine hygiene products. Great for wounds and injuries.
Very good for wounds.
Very absorbent.
There are a number of
Tampons and actually.
We've used baby diapers on horses.
Do you know, I
Yep,
carry
and baby diapers.
Tiny tampons, because we get bloody, just stick them over the nose.
Yeah. I have a cold pack too. Because, if I sprain my ankle or something.
Oh, I get this.
Is it the kind you open up and
Yep.
smash and it gets cold?
Yep. Because you don't know.
That's smart.
I got a tent.
String on some kids. What is
Is
it?
it fabulous? No, this is an amazing tent. But you know what?
I was just gonna say,
I
it's
will
very
cover
cool.
it if I need to.
Yeah.
There you go. It's just for survival, right?
Sleeping bag tent.
I have gloves also for the emergency stuff. Cause where I was trained, my first one, I was triage. I was gonna be a tagger and call, you're dying, sorry bud. You're this, you're that, okay, we can treat you. And you're dealing with people's blood and I want them to protect me. So I have that in there for that.
Melinda, didn't you tell me you got this training when you were in San Francisco, right? They
I've done
trained you
training
for
in San
earthquakes and-
Francisco and I've done training and I did it in Hayward. San Francisco had an amazing program. program is great. We actually have one here, if anybody wants the information. They have a class going on right now. Really good group of people are running it. They got training also in California. So they got some really good training. It's down in San Diego. They have a fantastic program down there. So they run a community thing. It was off for a while because of the pandemic thing going on. Now they're back on and meeting. So they have a current class, and I don't know if they do it every 6 months or years, but I can get their information for you if you want some more in-depth training on it.
If you were hungry.
I have triangle bandage, survival guide thing, because there's stuff I don't know. So it doesn't hurt to have extra information and a little baby first aid
Yep.
kit. And I feel good about what I have.
That money.
I've got food, I've got shelter. Could be a little better off for Idaho winters, right? I will acknowledge that, and maybe I need to make some shifts in plans. There are a couple things I would add to this. I would add a solar power pack so that I could charge my phone or something. Phones may not be usable. If they are, you want to be able to charge it. So that's a nice option to have in there. And they have them so that it can charge other stuff too, potentially. There are smaller ones, there are bigger ones. That's something I feel like I want to add to my pack. Yes, ma'am.
So that, the food there that
Uh-huh.
Janice has, that's like rock hard. Like,
Yeah, it's nasty.
How do you eat that? Do you just suck
I
on
don't
it?
know, I
or-
haven't eaten it yet. I didn't want to open it and try it out. You know what?
Granola
If
bar.
I need it, I'm gonna go for it.
It says it's ready to eat and
Yeah.
shelf life 5 years.
It's hard now, but once you open up to expose the air, it actually starts softening up.
Really?
Oh, it
Oh,
does?
speaking of some, I've never tried it. I
And
don't
what
want
you
to.
do is you hit it with your knife and break off a piece and put it on.
Probably bale of hay.
It's hard.
Let's all test it out.
As
If
it-
you have a knife.
We'll buy some and bring it to you guys.
I got a knife,
Oh,
my
yeah.
little shaky
That'd be
knife.
one of our-
Want to be Leatherman? I got a knife.
MREs.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
that makes sense.
We should. Try them, then we should try them.
Okay, I am open for questions.
So I want to suggest, one thing I put in mind that is really phenomenal now is a life straw. Because you can
Yep.
I
get
have one of those in my one with the water.
life straw.
The Life Straw, it's a water filter that you can put into a water bottle.
Yep. You
See,
can put it in.
I still carry the little water purifier pellets. I mean, I guess you don't have to.
Get the life straw.
Yeah.
The life straw, you can put millions of gallons through it, literally.
Really?
Yes. They've got guys that tried it out in mud puddles, drinking the water.
What?
Yes.
They're actually,
Cattle range, and it
Or
does.
if you know what you're doing,
And
you
it
take 3
filters.
bottles of cold
Life
sand
straw.
and fill, any like toilet paper, stuff them individually, take the bottom off, stack them up on each other, the very top of them, pour the water in, and it filters out into regular filtered water.
Yeah, I've seen it
Yeah,
before.
it's just.
And they're relatively cheap, maybe like $5, $6 at Kmart.
Where do you get
Or
it?
maybe a little bit more expensive, like
Life
10.
straw,
Yeah.
15,
15?
yeah, about $15.
Where did you get them at?
everywhere.
Okay.
Sportsman's Warehouse, Cabela's.
Yeah. Pretty much all your, if you have like outdoor sporting goods, they will
$40
carry them.
for two. Walmart.
Yeah.
2 personal water
Oh.
filters. What does it taste like? Oh, sorry, that's at Amazon. And so it's $20. It's
No,
strong.
that's not emergency, but you don't get to try it.
So I got,
I
don't have to yell.
Jump in
Oh, man.
One-liner suggestion.
Anything else?
Any other questions, excuse me?
Are you packing a hatchet?
I have one in my car.
Okay.
And a shovel.
Because what about like a flint or cotton balls and Vaseline, like a fire starter of some sort?
I do have that in my other kit.
Hand sanitizer.
Works incredibly
Hand
well.
sanitizer. But I have
Toilet
longer
paper
matches.
and thing, that's right
72
there.
hours. I have more than enough matches for 72 hours.
So you've got matches, and so you're gonna start a fire.
I have candles for lights.
And for warmth, you have.
I'm not carrying wood with me. I'm gonna have to hope for the best on
tearing someone's house.
Because how much can you carry,
Right, and
right?
You're thinking of leaving your house on foot. This is leaving your house
We
on
don't
foot.
know what we're doing, right? So,
Yeah.
this was,
Leaving your car.
I put this together when I was in California.
Yeah,
I knew what I was doing
Right.
there. You're not going very far.
right.
You're not going very
Right.
far. There, I mapped out my neighborhood, because they didn't have as good a program as San Francisco had. So I knew I was gonna be center control for volunteers. I was like, okay, that's a good place for a morgue. That's a good place for a community bathroom, because you can't have people peeing all over the place.
Oh.
And I mapped out my neighborhood to make sure I knew where things would be. I mapped out, we had a little creek, not that far from my place. I figured out the best place to get down to be able to get water for people there. So I figured out those things.
Gas station here.
Yeah, I'd be heading down to the Amnon Fire Station is one of the places that you can go in
That's better than my
Amnon.
dog.
At the end of the day, if it's that bad that you have to evacuate, your emergency personnel can do zero for you. Zero.
Yeah.
Do not count on them being available. They're busy with other stuff.
No.
Your hospital has nothing for you. Don't go there either.
Walking down there.
Oh,
Taking myself.
I'll take the car. Oh,
Well,
imagine what,
take the car.
what is at risk? What are we at risk here for? Nuclear explosions,
Avalanche.
water, earthquakes.
Floods.
So if you take that into
Earthquakes, you can
consideration.
usually stay at home.
Right.
Yeah, we can get floods
You
here.
might have to go to somebody else's house, but you can usually stay at home for an earthquake.
Well, if that
But it's-
happens
can
out
still
there,
happen.
just have a
Well,
more.
you don't know, there's, no joking aside, the volcano issue is not pinpoint accurate is what it's gonna be like, so we don't know.
Yes.
You might have a 20 minutes to 20 seconds, you might have a full hour, we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
depending
some
on
of
how it
severity.
lasts and blows up. Some of us have been around Mount St. Helens. Some of us have been right down the earthquake fault line for 13 years of his life. Yeah, like she said, went to San Francisco. I'm from Southern California. That's what we're trained to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I have all the building, so I can go into buildings and search for people.
Yeah,
I
and
have
know
that
your
training.
neighborhood here. Know your neighborhood. Know where.
The only thing you probably really, besides volcanoes to evacuate for is for dams. You got to.
Yeah, because the
Got
Teton
to.
Dam in 1976. I just have to come up here a year after, 2 years after.
Yep.
Yeah, 80 billion gallons. The only thing around here right now is the Palisade Dam. If it's bust, when it's full.
Now, Ryrie's bad too. I've seen the flood maps for both. There's a flood map that you can get from GIS, and you can see where the low points are, and where the high points are.
You are not looking at any of that stuff. Drama queen.
I know where I'm going. Yes, ma'am.
Jump to the worst possible.
So I haven't even taken these out of the package yet, but I've been thinking more about this kind of stuff lately. I asked Shane some advice on this too, but I did find like a jacket that has, power packs in it that will last 10 hours. So you gotta have a number of those, you gotta have a number of those, but you can have that. And that has heaters in it and stuff, and sockets. So I haven't even taken it out of the package. I don't even know if I'm keeping them, but what do you think about something like that? I mean, I'm thinking about just in my house, if the power went out for 2 days.
Those are good ideas to have. That's handy for that. It's hard if you're thinking you're gonna have to leave and you don't know the circumstances of what you're gonna have to leave for. I figure less is more. The smallest amount you can get away with is probably the best option.
In your basket that has wheels,
Fire and wood.
Whatever you need
or car.
to get it to move.
Right.
Whatever you
Some-
need to get it to move, and we all have our specialties.
Some of us are told to use, what you do is get buckets, the 5-gallon buckets. That is what you put all your food in. You just close it up, put a tape on it, seal up everything, because those ERs and all that. If you pack that full of food, just food alone, and then put those close to like a garage door, closer, not to the door, but somewhere out, so you, if it have to, you can break in to get that, if you need it. That's something you can come back, or other, what do they call those guys? Preppers would actually go in the yard and dig it, put it in the ground. They store it in the ground, so nobody knows about, put a pot on top, make it look like it's nothing there. But the bag she's talking about, this bag here, is one of the things most of us that are trained down in Southern Colorado to have. I went through training with Home Depot, I was in Cub Scouts, and several other companies that I had to go learn to do all this with. And yeah, I do have it too. I have hunt with InQi, I'm the one who preps them. And have both my vehicles, working vehicles, have escape bags. If we even get in an accident, one of the trucks has everything to live on.
And I personally do always have stuff in my car. I've got water, I've got to change clothes, right? Got extra thick socks for the winter. Got blankets back there all the time, because if you break down in winter, right? That's a bummer. Always have a pair of shoes, because what kind of shoes am I wearing? Who knows? When the car breaks, and I gotta push the thing, right? Want better shoes for doing that, so I always keep, there's always something in the back of my car that I can survive on.
Suggestion, you have a roll of TP. What some people do, and it works out nicely, get yourself
He says, we're going.
12 ounce.
Where? Don't know. Grab your gear, let's go.
can,
Close.
can,
Get your gear,
put
get
the
your clothes
thing
on.
in there, and
So I
then
have a
you
bag.
can, especially if it's metal, you can then use that for gathering water, or you could, you're not carrying wood, but you could have fire starter and stuff that you keep in there, any number of things.
Fire starter,
Yep.
multi-use.
Has anybody ever played with that
What's that?
to start fires? Hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
Some of it will not light.
What's that?
Some of it will not light. You gotta make sure you get the stuff with the higher concentrated isopropyl alcohol in it.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well,
The
this
higher
is
the alcohol, the
about
more-
aloe
So-
vera.
The aloe, yeah.
Aloe doesn't allow
A
it.
Christmas gift to me from a bus driver years ago was a paint can with holes poked in the top of it. Had a roll of toilet paper down inside of it. It seems like a bottle of alcohol
Rubbing alcohol.
and some matches in there. And he just gave it to me as a gift, and if, like, it'll burn for quite a while and keep a small car or an area warm for a little bit, so.
So without suffocating you.
Right,
That's a good one.
that was a good gift. I still
Yeah.
have that somewhere.
You should bring it and show it to us.
Yeah?
I still have that. I'll have to see if I can remember where it is.
The hard part is finding the metal cans, because, you know, you could use the old Folgers cans,
You
coffee
can buy
cans.
paint cans at Home Depot's and Lowe's, empty ones.
That's true.
That's what this is.
Sherwin Williams will sell you empty paint cans.
Yeah, this,
The one on that,
And
this is just an unused paint can
Yep.
with a lid.
Francisco Cafe, you can pick it up at any grocery store. It's a 12-ounce metal can of coffee.
Yep.
How big's 12 ounce? That's a small one.
It's less than a pound.
yeah, it's the
You know,
small.
This is a
it's
1 gallon
about
can. It's just an
3.5
unused
inches
paint can.
diameter
Yeah.
and about maybe 5 or 6 inches tall, give or take. So it would be a very good size for an alcohol stove. It's also a good size if you don't want your TP getting wet. You can stuff it in there. Just put a nice plastic lid on it.
Yeah, and if your vehicle's, the best thing to do is go out in your vehicle, go buy that bottle called heat additive, the fuel additive. Don't use it for your fuel. Just set it in the back of your trunk somewhere. That's the best stuff to keep light and lit for fuel. It burns the best.
It's isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah. But if you have a little bottle and you save it, like put it in somewhere in your
Yeah,
vehicle,
they got 90%,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
That's the best thing. What I did is I took, I cut up a Coca-Cola, 2 Coca-Cola cans, reversed one of them, put holes in them, and made a stove candle with it. With that stuff. You pour it in the center, you put a penny in the part, after you light it, you put a penny in the center. It becomes a little stove.
Did you say a penny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the center, you gotta fill it up, so the fuel has to come, so if you put a copper penny in it, it stops that little area, and it blows out the little holes you do.
That's like the coolest thing.
Girl Scout camp.
Oh, yeah, we can just go down there and buy a bunch of garage MRAs
And stoves, we can build stoves.
and just put them right here, how they do them.
Okay.
Have their own meals.
So
One of these
next
Saturdays,
week's
guys
meal.
can have a nag.
Go out and buy that stuff right here. So everybody can at least try it. Have you ever tried
Those are good, I
That's
like those.
actually good. That stuff's good.
Yeah, I've done
Pretty
the,
yummy.
Just give me some.
yeah, the Neapolitan and the ice cream sandwich. Freeze dried.
We bought a bunch
So
of stuff.
where would you recommend buying all that stuff?
I-
Except the skid lid, we don't,
Except the what?
the skid lid.
Actually, the skid
Oh, the
lid
hat-
could be
the helmet.
used as a bowl or a water collector.
Ooh,
Or,
hey.
you know, so actually your helmet could probably cover you.
So yes,
I'm totally like a wannabe naked and afraider, but I'm totally not gonna get naked and I'm too afraid. But I watch all of them. I love it.
it's actually it's a real TV show.
I know, I heard about it.
I'm not.
It doesn't show anything, and it's kind of inappropriate, I guess, because they're sending a man and a woman out there in the middle of nowhere, naked, for 21 days. They have to survive.
Why naked?
Because they take
Makes it
away
harder to
all
survive.
options of,
All except for one thing.
they have to make their clothes. They make their clothes. I mean, that would be like the first thing I would do is like make clothes, but
You're allowed to bring
I'm not.
one thing.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing. You can bring anything, but it has to be one
But do
thing.
you know the things that you can, I mean,
My
like,
one thing would
sap,
be
like a certain
a
sap off a
jumpsuit.
tree, you can like, I mean, that is a huge heat
So
source.
what'd you do?
Yeah, that's where that book comes in.
Huh?
That's why she just has that book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a book that's got
It's in
weird
there.
stuff in it for things I don't know. You can do that?
No. you
I like
don't say
hamsters.
that.
Another good idea of something to have in there might be some uplifting scriptures. If it's a bug out and you're walking, you might not want to carry your entire book. You might.
Gideon New Testament.
It's big and heavy.
Pocket size New Testament.
So you might want something small.
So, at the Army surplus store, they have the old military pocket Bibles when the guys were in the war, and some of them were even written in, actually. That's pretty cool, I think.
About that big.
Yeah.
So that's something that you might want to think about having.
And your readers, you're gonna read the Bible. You
Yeah.
can start fires with these too.
That too. That too. As long as there's sunlight.
Does anybody else have any more comments or questions? It's about 6:45, and I think Janice and Darlene are chomping at the bit to get to church.
Must be. I don't think she heard you.
They're in the zone.
What about you?
Hidden pictures, video.
Probably just add that.
Probably need to add that, but you know what? I got fingers and I don't care. I got fingers and baby wipes
There you
to
go.
clean up the fingers. I'm good.
You can whittle a stick.
Yeah.
I can do that because I've got a knife in my little wannabe Leatherman.
That's the number one thing is a whistle, a knife, and tissue. Basically, anything involved that.
I do have some luxury items in there, you know, the baby wipes. That would be a luxury.
I agree.
Depending on where you're going and how
That's
far
okay.
you're
I won't share them with you.
Yeah, you should on the poison ivy bush.
Definitely I have those baby wipes. It's right there, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Melinda, very much. Thank you. I think we should